All right, the next guy I had on the list, Mataeo Durant, the running back out of Duke. Now, I like this dude a ton.
Yep.
I think he's such a smooth runner, one-cut downhill guy. I think he's explosive. I don't think he has elite top end, but I think he has really, really good top end.
Enough. I think he ran a 4.4 something,
yeah,
right?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, in the sense of, if he has a step, he can take it to the house. But I have seen him get caught by the fast corners, the fast safety guys. So that's why I said good top end, just not elite top end.
Right.
I don't think he's a shifty guy, but I think he has really good vision. And I think on zone runs, that's where he shines. When he's able to just take that ball outside zone and he's just reading the offensive lineman, reading that 3 technique, reading that end. If a guy gets reached, he's taking it outside. If a guy, sets the edge, he's putting that foot in the ground, getting downhill. But I think that his vision and just how smooth he is some of his best assets. And I think that he's a strong runner. I don't see him go down on the initial contact too much. Not saying that he's necessarily a bruiser, but I just think he's a physical runner. And even though he wasn't utilized as a receiver at Duke that often, I think on swing routes, when they get him the ball, he can definitely make a guy miss in space. He can ultimately, catch that. If he has a step on that inside linebacker taking a bad angle, he can definitely outrun them. And I also seen him on a couple of wheel routes as well, man. So to me, I like Mataeo a lot. In fact, who he kind of reminded me of, man?
Kamara.
I was not saying Kamara. No. To me, man, it was a cat from South Carolina. He ended up getting hurt. Was it Marshawn Lattimore? I think it was his late.
Oh yeah, he was a beast.
Like that's who he reminded me of when I was watching him, man. Just like the smoothness of it. And I think Lattimore was a better player, a little bit bigger, but
yeah, he had how many ACL? He was like Frank Gore.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
He's
and then
never panned out in the pros,
the last one where it was just tragic, like really messed the knee up. But to me, man, when I watch him, like at times, I'm just like, yo, he looks like him. That smoothness, explosive, great vision, fast, like his feet always moving. Like that's what I see when I see him, man. So I like him a lot, man.
Yeah, it took me like 3 plays to be sold on the dude because you're right.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw how smooth of a runner he was, also how fast he was, not afraid to drop the shoulder, like at goal line scenarios, I think he could be what Anthony McFarland was supposed to be for us.
I promise.
That's why I said Kamara comparison, because I compared McFarland to Kamara back in the day.
I remember that as well.
So this is the new Kamara.
I definitely remember that as well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I definitely like Durant though, man. I think that he has a legitimate chance to push that, those guys in terms of Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland, because his style is different than Benny Snell. His style is different than McFarland. McFarland's a fast runner, but McFarland isn't really under control. Now we saw the first year he would slip and fall a lot. Second, we really didn't get to see him. I know I had the opportunity in like training camp and stuff like that.
He looked better, you said,
and he looked a lot better, but it's still a difference in his running style versus Mataeo, who, like I said, is just a smooth, natural runner. He reads the hole well. He's just, like I say, he's always under control. That's the thing that I really like about him, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how he proceeds forward,
He's been an efficient runner ever since his sophomore year, where he's got, 97 attempts, 4.8 a carry, then junior year, 6.8 a carry, 120 for 817, and then senior year he became more of the workhorse. Production's there.
No,
1,241 yards, 9 touchdowns, 27 receptions, 256 receiving yards.
Yeah,
makes you wonder why he went undrafted.
Yeah,
has to be due to the running back position. Well, because even some of the guys we were talking about, like Ty Chandler, felt a little late for us to be talking to him going in like the 5th or 6th round because of how good he was. But it's just running back now.
Running back has been devalued, and we've been talking about that. It's the gift and the curse, because a lot of guys can come in and play that position. Now the supply versus demand. It has a surplus of supply. So you're just kind of like, well, we don't need to spend like that on this position. We don't need to waste a draft pick on this position when we can go get a guy as an undrafted free agent. And that's essentially what the Steelers did, but this dude right here, he's draftable. He's a draft quality player. Like this, that's why, like when I said I was surprised some of these guys haven't been drafted, he's one of the main guys I was thinking about, because I think that he's very complete in his game, but it's just, he plays a position where it's just not as prevalent anymore, because you're able to find him on the undrafted free agent market.
You think that contract's telling it all?
I heard he had like the biggest, didn't he got like the biggest
undrafted rookie contract for a running back.
Yeah.
It was $15,000 guaranteed, and I think It's a 3-year, almost $3 million. It's almost like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that's all guaranteed and whatnot. Or,
No. I think just the 15 is
just
guaranteed.
The 15, so he just needs to make the roster.
Yeah, you make
every
the
year.
roster, your money becomes guaranteed after that. But I do think that it is telling. It's telling that he had a market. That's the first part. Because the Steelers, they're not going to just pay that just for the sake of, oh, I like you a lot, let me overpay you. Nah. But if he had another team that was calling him saying, hey, man, we want to sign you and we're going to pay you $7, and he comes back to the Steelers and he's like, yeah, they want to pay me $7. Steelers say, okay, we'll give you $8. Then they're like, well, we'll give you $10. The Steelers like, we'll give you $12. They're like, we'll give you $14. I will go $15 last offer. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how I see it playing out. But either way, it's good for him. He's going to get some money in his pocket. But just the on-field part, I do think that he has a legitimate chance, man. Like, just based on what I've seen thus far.